Hello everyone, I'm Pooja and today I'm here to share with you this class on Brustro's Artist Special Effects knives. This full range of 5 knives offers the right combination of resilience and flexibility, aiding in variety of paint applications and scraping techniques. It's a known fact that these knives can be used with oil paints and acrylics. However, you'll be surprised to know that they can create equally cool effects on gouache as well as watercolors. Today I'm going to focus on acrylics, but go beyond the regular paint application method using scraping, using special effects knives, and show you how to apply these knives differently in abstract art. In this lesson, we're using artist mixed media paper and artist acrylics. I have taped the mixed media paper and prepped it very well by applying 2 fine layers of professional heavy body artist gesso, as I will be working on applying heavy layers of acrylics and in some places scraping the paints as well. Let's start with 3605. The blade of this knife has a larger opening on the left side and smaller opening on the right side. The knife has a sturdy make and is apt for scraping paint or dabbing techniques. If I compare that with 3010 from the regular knife collection, you'll notice which has a much more flexible bend than 3605 can be used for other techniques like blending. To get started, I'm applying a thin layer of sap green using my 3003 palette knife from the regular collection. Once I have laid the ground, I'm taking the 3605 and I'm going to scrape the paint off to reveal a thin layer beneath the sap green. Let's scrape from both the sides. We'll do the right first and then the left. This was very basic. I'm just going to wipe it again and do something cool with this now. To use this knife more effectively, I'm going to now scrape the paints with a certain degree of bend, let's say between 80 degrees to 110 degrees, to create blades of grass. Now this is so cool because if I were to create these blades of grass using a regular palette knife, I would have taken a long time. Use the tip of the knife to create one-off marks to add character to your painting. For the next effect, I'm creating a nice background using ivory black and titanium white. Once my background is ready, I will load a random mix of black and white on my special knife, and we're going to use the dabbing technique to create random abstract trees. This is such a great technique to add some trees in the background of your painting without doing too much. Let's add some branches with a regular palette knife. And we're going to do a little cute moon to complete the look. Here is a glimpse of what I did with 3605. Let's move on to 3604 now. Again, a very sturdy make, and it has a symmetry between the blades on both the sides. I'm now loading red cadmium hue to show some scrape marks. A simple etch with this blade will remind you of a cloth canopy in front of an old restaurant. This is another texture you can achieve by constant strokes with this knife. Let's do a different edge now. Hold the paper at a degree and rest your knife well on the paper. This time make sure you're moving the paper, not the knife. And this way you can create concentric circles or semicircles depending on the look that you're going for. I am now creating a background with cobble blue, white and some violet to create a sky for my next dab. Using this knife, I am loading the paints at the edge of the knife and dabbing them to create ornamental or decorative grasses. Using the Brustro fine liner, I am now creating fine lines to complete the blades of grass. You can also add a hint of white to the flame grass that I created by etching it against the paper. Here is a quick look of 3604, the dabbing and scraping technique. Let's move on to 3603, very similar to 3604, and the only difference between this and the one that we saw earlier is the distance between the outer blades, which you can see very clearly. To show you the first technique, I'm adding a layer of black topped with a thick layer of cobble blue to show you a funny little tower etch with this knife. Scraping the layer of cobble blue to reveal a semi-dried layer of black beneath, adding the poles now and the wires, and finishing it with my favorite part, that is adding my moon. For the next mark using my knife, I'm creating a background sky using a random blend of violet, titanium white and cadmium orange. Now I'm attempting to make an abstract version of the big blue liriope. Load the paint, dab it on your paper and move it slightly towards left and right side to give it some volume. Let's finish this abstract look by adding details with the brush pens or fine liners. Added a little sun this time. Tell me in the comments below how you find them. The next knife we're going to look at is 3602. Looks like a crown to me, again very flexible, but you will be in for a big surprise. It did not look like much to me, so I added a dab directly on paper to reveal a little alien paw instead of a crown. I realized that this knife is a great tool for creating etching like these. Now let's put this knife to creating something that I never thought it would do. I wanted the background to remain abstract, so I created a blend between sea and sky. At the bottom I added viridian, hints of ivory black and cobalt blue and blended them through. On my knife I have titanium white and I am loading the white on the paper using semicircular motions like these. Keep on doing it, add more titanium white and soon you will reveal violent waves. Who knew a knife like this could do violent waves? Let's move on to our last knife, that is 3601. This one has very pointed teeth like blade and it's very rigid. I'm adding yellow ochre and one swipe of this knife created a look like a window or a metal yard gate. With this knife you can add some hatching or cross hatching marks on your surface. I realized that this blade is pretty much meant to create marks like these, so I thought you could put them to use to create a series of short grass. Load little pots of paint across your paper and then scrape the paint with this knife to create your short grass. Add some more paints with different hues this time and scrape the paint through. And this is how your short grass garden looks like. Could have been a little better, but you know the technique now. So here are the things that we used today. All the special knives. Along with that I used 3003 from the regular knife collection and all these stuff. You could create infinite patterns with these knives. The possibilities are endless. However, I hope you were able to pick up a few elements you could add to your abstract artwork from this lesson today. Until I see you next time, stay blessed, be creative, have fun. Lots of love, Pooja.